welcome back to our next reading of the Asatru Edda. Asgard Skegg here, and today in chapter 15, which is entitled Thusar, is actually the last chapter in the first grouping or the first collection of chapters of the Asatru Edda, which are known as the Ur-Aldr. So this chapter here is the last of that segment, and really the function of the Ur-Aldr is kind of to introduce the reader to the world, the gods, the giants, the other creatures of the realms, and set the stage for all of the rest of the stories, which now really more encompass the sagas, both divine and earthly. And in Thusar, in the old language, that is one of the many translations of the word giant or Jotun. So in this last chapter of the Ur-Aldr, we will be talking in depth about the giants. The Hrimthusar had one abode together in Niflheimr, while the Jotnar who die and go there have many Gardar. In the upper Jotenheimr, the Jotnar continue to grow in number. To the north of Jotenheimr, a savage territory lacking civilization and swarming with strange inhuman races. A vast stretch of sea separates this from the opposite shores of Midgard, and since navigation there is hazardous, very few have set upon it and enjoy a safe return. This precipitous land resounds with a thundering din of storms that sounds as if they are deluging rocks. Cattle race about in droves along the seaboard. If they are harmed, monsters fly into the shore, filling the forest with their howls and attacking their assailants. Jotnar, armed with massive clubs, would wade out into the sea, keeping the intruders from sailing away before they atone for the murdered cattle with blood. Jotenheimr is a region of everlasting cold, spread with deep snows, for it does not experience the sun's vigor even in summer. Abounding in trackless forests, it is incapable of producing crops and is haunted by animals uncommon elsewhere. There are many rivers whose courses are churned into the foam of roaring rapids by the reefs embedded in their channels. The Jotun, Fornjotar, had 3 sons, Hlir or Algir, Logi, and Kari, each of whom maintain the destructive forces of their respective element. Aegir was also called Gymir, and his wife Ran is also known as Golvig or Arboda. And he who came from the family of Bergrisar. Gerder is one of their daughters, and she is one of the most beautiful women. Gymir Aegir's Ursvol Volur often carries the ship amid breaking billows into Aegir's jaws. She is a she-wolf on the deep and is among the Hafruar. She had been forced into fearful waters, the cold depths. The Aesir later discovered that Ran Goldvig had fashioned a net in which she caught everyone that went to sea, designed after the net created by Loki just before his capture. Ran Goldvig is immortality, but Sea Crest Sleipnir, or ship, spray-driven, tears his breast, covered with red paint, out of white Ran Goldvig's mouth. How shall Sea or Aegir be referred to? By calling it Ymir's blood, visitor to the Godin, husband of Ran Godvig, father of Aegir's daughters, whose names are Himingrova, Dufa, Blodughada, Hefring, Unar, Hron, Birja, Bara, and Kolga, land of Rangolvig, and of Aegir's daughters, and of ships, and of terms for sea ships, of keel, stem, plank, strake, or fish, ice, sea king's way, and roads, no less ring of the islands, house of the sands, and seaweed and skerries, land of fishing tackle, and of seabirds and sailing wind. How shall wind or Kari be referred to? By calling it son of Fornjotr, brother of Aegir and Logi, breaker of tree, harmer and slayer or dog or wolf of tree or sail or rigging. Kari's son is Jokul, and his father is of Snare. Snare's children are Thori, Fon, Drifa, and Mjor. And how shall fire or Logi be referred to? By calling it brother of Kari and Aegir, slayer and damager of tree and houses, the undoing of Harfar and the son of houses. There is one coated among the Aesir who some call slanderer of the Godin, the source of deceit and the disgrace of all Godin and men. He is named Loki, or Lopter. He is the son of the Jotun Farbati. His mother is named Laufi or Nal, and his brothers are Bylister and Helblindi. Farboti is the Jotun of hurricanes and thunder. The hurricane's cloud bursts in heavy showers, which, though the swollen torrents wed themselves to the sea, gave rise to Helblindi. The hurricane's whirlwind gave rise to Bylister. A lightning strike from the storm brought Loki into the world. The violence of Farbati's characters did not demonstrate itself on the surface of Loki's character at all. It was only later, when he was laid down in a cave of torture for his crimes, that this came about. Loki is pleasing, even beautiful to look at, but his nature is evil and he is undependable. More than others, he has the kind of wisdom known as cunning and is treacherous in all matters. He constantly placed the Godin in difficulties and often solved their problems with guile. His wife is Sigyn, and they have 2 sons together. Near the mill handles of Grotai, the Himthurs, Bergamir, and Hrimnir, before he was slain, had a daughter with Imdir, one of the Giger who turned the mill. In the earliest age, she was at the mill kissing the Thrail wenches. Her name is Golvig, and she is Loki's equivalent and Heimdall's counterpart. In the core of her being, she is even more dreadful than Loki himself. Although she was brought forth by Hrimnir and Imdir, she would be slain by the Godin 3 times. They burned her 3 times burned, and 3 times born oft and again. One of her other parents is Vidolfr, for all of the Volir are from Vidolfr, all of the Vidkar are from Vilmidr, and all of the Sibrenrinder are from Svarthofti Sutur. All of the Jotun came from Ymir. Golvig is also called Himdir, Arboda, Angurboda, Ran, Ivija, Jarnvija, and Hirokin. Bergamir Hriner had a son named Hronthropr, who is Golvig's brother. Both of them share the gift of prophecy. At the far northern end of the Jormungand sits a Jotun named Hreisvelger. He has the shape of an eagle, and when he beats his wings to take flight, the winds blow out from under them. Thus come the winds that are blown over all man. Svasduther is the name of the father of Sumar. He is a man so content that from his name comes the expression, it is svaslik, referring to what is pleasant. The father of Vitr is alternately called Vinloni or Vinsvalar. He is the son of Vasad. These are cruel and cold-hearted kinsmen, and Werther takes his name from them. Yearly they both, Sumar and Vetter, shall further journey forever until the powers perish. I shall tell you the names of the Jotnar. Ymir Gungur, also known as Egil, and Mimir. Idi, also known as Slagfiner, and Thiazi or Volander. Hrugnir, Hrimnir, Hrodnir, Grimnir, Vedrungur, Halfi, Hripstodi, Gimireger, Harvecker, Hrokvir, and Haustigi. Hreisverger, Herkir, and Hrimgriner, Himnir, and Hrinthurs, Hravar, Thrigiter, Thrimner, Thrudgelmir, Thistilbardi, Geroder, Firinir, Galar, Thrivadi, Fjolvekker, Gittir, Fleger, Blepthvari, Forjotter, Spettinger, Fjalar or Sutinger, Stigandi, Sormer or known as Sumer, and Svasuder, Svaurenger, Skratti, Suterduren, and Storvekker, Sekkarasmuli, Skarir, Skrimir, Skerker, Sarfang, Oskruder, Svarter, Onduder, Stumi, Alsvarter, Arnir, Armor, Skali, Kotur, Osgruni, Alfarin, Vinsvaler, Vingimnir, Vipar, Vafthrudnir, Eder, Rangbeen, Vindir, Vidblindi, Vingnir, Leafy, Benvider, Bjorgolfer, Brandingi, Dumber, Bergermer, Dofri, Midjungur or Volander, Nati, Logi, Kari, Jokul, Forsti, Snare, Thori, Nor, Gor, Hrosdroffer, Kol, Vidolfer, Vilmider, Hangjangjopter, Belly, Starkgarder, Alsvider, Egthir, Hati, Hroder, Hrimer, Argimnir, Gilinger, Geilir, Mornir, Screamnir, Graper, Hockey, Yari, Loden, Beater, Glamour, Glaumar, Glaumvor, Goosier, Hloi, Kyrmir, Scramer, Scroger, Vornir, Ornir, Heedrecker, Lidi, Imgitirnir, Ymir, Hringvonir, Vidi, Vingreep, Vandir, Geilir, Semendir, Kaldgrani, Joten, Oglandnir, Grimlinger, Ofoti, Ganglati, Herregin, Dunirsuter, Hundorfer, Boggy, Graudunger, Fenrir, Hror, and Midi. Now there have been listed the names of very powerful þursar. I shall list the names of the Gizur. Grider and Gnisa, Grilla, Brija, Glunra, Gitla, Grima, Bakrof, Goma, Gestirja, Grotintana, Gjaup, Hyroken, Golveg, Hengjangjapta, Gnip, Gnepja, Gesa, Hala, Horn, Heruga, Hardgrepa, Forad, Hirgda, Hevedra, Holkabruder, Hringerder, Hera, Herkja, Fala, Imder, Jarnsaxa, Ema, Fjorvol, Morn, Amgerder, Simu, Svivor, Skrikja, Svippenfarda, Oflongbarda, Jarngrumra, Imgerder, Ama, Margerder, Atla, Isurfalla, Liken, Munharpa, Mirkrida, Istra, Ergjaffa, Urfrun, Engerja, Lirvor, Lejotta, Lodenfingra, Klaka, Vardrun, Kjarlandi, Viglod, Thurbord, Goy, Hundla, Sela, Gunlaud, Kira, Ima, Brana, Busera, Grip, Hevendna, Herja, Klima, Mana, Nerja, Nefja. And we wish to name Rieger last and Rifingafla. The Godin would defend the worlds against these þursar and their violent storms. The Aesir would be responsible for cleaning the air of the forces of chaos that bring harm to Midgarders, lands, and people. And from the Godin came pure, beneficial powers of nature that oppose those of the Jotnar. Thank you very much for sitting through this longer segment of reading today, where we discussed in detail the race of the Jotnar. Thank you for listening in. Please support the channel by hitting that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to see all of our new content. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you on the next segment.